Hello, today I'm going to show you how to make your drum sound more realistic in 2 easy steps. So I made this simple drum loop out of stock samples that come with FL Studio to keep it very simple. I'm only using a hi-hat, a kick and a snare, so nothing special here. I'm playing it at 100 beats per minute so you can really hear the difference. It will be very subtle, but you can tell the difference, yeah. So this is how the drum loop sounds without the modifications. Nothing special here. So we will modifying it a bit so that it sounds like this. You can hear the hi-hat a bit bouncing. You can hear the kick drum that it moves a bit. Yeah. So nothing special. How do I get to this result? Let's first look at the velocity. I think it's the most important thing to look at. If you look at the velocity of your hi-hat, every single stroke of the hi-hat is at the same velocity. So this sounds like a computer, like it's generated. But a human is not exactly at the same velocity with every stroke on the hi-hat. So when we look at the second pattern and look at the velocity of the hi-hat, you can see I modified the velocity a bit. And the reason why the second stroke on the hi-hat is always a bit quieter is because of the Möller technique. So if you play drums, you learn the Möller technique. Usually you think, yeah, downstroke, downstroke, downstroke on the hi-hat, but Möller technique consists of downstrokes and upstrokes. So every time you make a downstroke, you hit the hi-hat, and every time you do an upstroke, you hit the hi-hat. And the upstroke is usually a bit quieter. So that's how this pattern is created. And let's look at the kick drum. The first hit on the kick drum is louder than the second hit, and if we come to the 16th notes, the second hit is even quieter. So the downbeat, so 1 and 3, are louder, and here the 1 and the 1E are quieter. That's because when you play it, you tend to do the downbeats more accented than the upbeats. And snare, nothing special. Sure, you can vary in the velocity here, but that won't affect the beat by much. So, and the second thing I can show you are fills and breaks in drum beats. Here without any modifications. Sure, it's a nice break, but nothing here. You can do the velocity here, but you can do something different. If you look at the drummer's out of a drummer's perspective, who is sitting behind the drums, not everything is set in the center. So you have your high tom slightly to the left, depending on your position where you sit. Then the second tom slightly to your right, and the floor tom all the way to your right. So if we look at the velocity here, you can see that the toms are all the same level. All at the same velocity. But if you look here at the modification, you can see I've just randomly drew in the velocity here. Depends on how you're feeling today, but it's alternating hands. One is louder, one is quieter. Yeah. But here, the thing that makes the difference is panning. So your high tom, the first hit, is on your left. So you pull it slightly to the left. The second tom, or the floor tom here, all the way to the right, just how you like it. And so it goes on with the panning. And then in comparison, without modification and with modification. Has a bit more drive to it. So let's go through every part of it again, and then we'll stop this short video, and I hope you learned something today. So the whole arrangement without modification. And with modification. So, I hope you liked it. Goodbye.